You're planning a trip to Switzerland in May and you're wondering what to expect. Well, in this video, I'll tell you everything you need to know and more because this is Switzerland Insider. My name is Greg, I'm Swiss. Let's start with the weather, because that's usually the first question travelers have. May is much more stable than April, but it's not perfect. In cities like Zurich, Lucerne or Bern, daytime temperatures are often between 18 and 24 degrees centigrade. On warmer days, it can even go higher. This means you can comfortably sit outside, enjoy the lakes, and spend long days exploring. In the southern part of Switzerland, like Ticino or the Lake Geneva region, it can already feel like early summer. You'll see people in t-shirts, cafes are more busy, and the evenings are usually a bit warmer as well, and warm enough to stay outside. But May still comes with variation. You can have sunny periods, then a few days of rain, and then it clears up again. The difference compared to April is that these changes usually come in phases, not all within one single day. Now, if you're planning your trip right now, I've put together a free Switzerland planning starter pack. It includes 2 guides that help you get started, from the basics to choosing the right train pass for your trip. You can download it at switzerlandinsider.com/start or linked below. Now, let's talk about the mountains, because this is where May becomes more complex. In higher elevations like Zermatt or the Jungfrau region, May is still a transition month. Winter has just ended or is just ending and the snow is melting. This is the time of year when you get green valleys, but still snow on the peaks. Visually, it's one of the most interesting times to visit. At the same time, not everything is open yet. Some cable cars and mountain lifts start operating again, while others are still closed for maintenance and only reopen later in May or even in June. That also means that May can still feel like shoulder season in some mountain areas, especially at higher elevation, where winter lasted longer and the snow takes more time to melt. Now, some places feel active, others feel quiet, and parts of the infrastructure might still be unavailable. So always check what's running before you go. And this is exactly where having a clear plan helps. I've created travel guides that cover everything you actually need to know about each area. They include done-for-you itineraries, comprehensive destination breakdowns, and places to eat and stay, all vetted by me. Now, you can plan your entire trip with them and be better prepared than most travelers. You'll find them at switzerlandinsider.com/guides or as well linked below. Now let's talk about hiking. This is where May becomes a good option, but only if you choose the right areas. At lower and mid elevations, many hiking trails are open again. You can plan proper walks, explore valleys, and spend full days outside. Higher alpine routes are a different story though. There can still be snow, some trails are not maintained yet, and conditions depend heavily on how much snow falling during winter and how fast it melts. So, if you're planning hikes, stay realistic with elevation and pick routes that are known to be accessible. Another highlight of May is water. Because of the snow melt, waterfalls are at their strongest. Places like the Staubbach Falls or Trümmelbach Falls are especially impressive during this time, and even smaller waterfalls become much more visible than later in summer. Now, let's talk about crowds. May is still considered shoulder season in Switzerland. Compared to the summer months, things are quieter, especially in the first half of the month. Popular places like Interlaken, Lucerne, or the Jungfrau region are not empty, but they are much easier to move around in. You'll notice it in trains, in hotels, and at major viewpoints. Everything feels more relaxed. But towards the end of May, things slowly start picking up again as the summer season approaches. There are also a couple of holidays you should be aware of. For example, Ascension Day or Pentecost. These don't fall in May every year, but when they do, they create long weekends. And during those periods, you'll see a short increase in travel activities, with more people from Germany, France, and the Netherlands visiting popular areas. But overall, Switzerland doesn't feel overcrowded in May. And just like April, this is also the time when many Swiss leave the country for a few days and head south in search of more reliable sunshine. Now, let's talk about cost and availability. May is a good middle ground. Prices are usually lower than in peak season, especially in the mountain regions where the transition between seasons is still ongoing. Accommodation is easier to find, and you don't need to book as far in advance as you would in July or August. In the cities, prices remain fairly stable, but availability is better. In the mountains, some services are already running again, while others are still in preparation for the main summer season. So, you get a mix of good availability and slightly better prices depending on where you go. A few practical tips for May. Start with flexible planning. You don't need to adjust your plans every hour like in April, but it still helps to stay flexible and react to the weather. Then check what's open, especially for cable cars, mountain restaurants, and hiking trails. Pack layers because temperatures can change quickly between day and night, and especially with elevation. And also use the longer days. By May, evenings are much longer, which gives you more time to explore. Here's how I, as a local, would plan a trip to Switzerland in May. I'd combine cities, lakes, and selected mountain areas. I'd start in places like Zurich, Lucerne, or around the Lake Geneva region, where conditions are stable and everything is open. Then I'd add day trips to the mountains, depending on what's running and what the weather looks like. Now this means I'd also avoid trying to force high alpine routes too early in the season. If you approach May this way, it becomes a very comfortable and rewarding time to visit. You get green landscapes, strong waterfalls, fewer crowds, and a country that's coming back to life. So that's May in Switzerland. Check out the guides and as well the free starter pack I've linked in the description. And thank you very much for watching. See you soon around in Switzerland. Bis bald und tschüss.